Hi, Papa Angelo. It's the first day of the new year, 2014. I've been writing, or at least creating, songs for more than a year and a half now on Vandalism. I've been quite fortunate in the way I've been received, and I'm very thankful for that. I've had some good listeners, wonderful comments, encouragement, appreciation, reflection, most important thing to me. The way people listen to something I do, and they reflect on it. To me, that's what a good piece of art should do, or any piece of art should do. Of course, people to reflect, look inside, look outside, and think about things in general. I sing about a lot of different things. I sing with my own emotions. A lot of them are based upon my experiences, past, present, and experiences of people that I love and know. Things I've heard about that have affected me. It's all been sincere. I don't write things I don't believe in. I don't write about things that don't puzzle or trouble me. It's all straight from my heart to your heart. I think a lot of you know that. I'm not much of a musician. I'm not much of a guitarist. I don't have a very good voice. I'm not even sure about the stuff that I write, but I've been thankful in the way that you've received me. Vandalism's been a wonderful place to be. It's a group of very supportive and caring people who want to share music. A lot of the other sites are not so compassionate or passionate. They're competitions, petty competitions, where people think they're going to win something. I have no interest in the commercial possibilities of music. I have a great interest in making music, expressing music, and sharing music, and meeting other people who are delighted with the same undertaking. I've got more than 1,000 people following my work regularly. I have 1.5 million views on my work. I've posted over 600 tunes, most of which are original. More than 500, I think, are originals. And I'm up somewhere over 250,000 props. I'm not sure what any of it means, to be very honest with you. I'm not a believer in the abstraction called fame, and I have no interest in fortune, and I truly mean that. I've been a creative artist all my life, trying to make things that I think are worth looking at, listening to, or experiencing. I've learned the most corrupting factor in the world, and the most corrupting factor in art, especially music, is the delusion that there's great money or some payoff at the end of the rainbow. For me, every time I pick up my guitar and I play, whether it sounds really good or really bad, that's the big pot of gold at the rainbow, at the end of the rainbow. I don't expect everyone or anyone to share my views of the world or the views of what I think is important, and that's not what I'm here for. I have my own followings, I have my own philosophy. I have an interesting background, I've done a lot of different things, and I'm thankful for everything that I've done and I've had the opportunity to do. At this age, I can look back and go, not bad, you've done okay. As some of you know, the most dear things to my heart, my son, and now my new wife, married for about a year. When I'm singing about a broken heart, it's not that I have a broken heart now, but I've known what a broken heart is. When I'm singing about being down and out, I'm not down and out now, but I know what it is to be down and out, I promise you. I've seen some interesting things in this life. I've been in some terrible places. I've traveled in the third world for much of it as a photographer. And I've written about lots of different things in my life. A lot of it was for newspapers or articles or lectures. What I write now, or what I create in music, is straight from the heart. There's very little filter. I want it to sound raw, rough cut. And as Stephen Olwood there in England says, which I love, Mr. Goodman, he says, filled with grit and sawdust. Well, I like that. I think that's what I have when I sing. I'm filled with grit and sawdust. I've been likened to a lot of people, which confuses me. Bob Dylan, Van Morrison, some really great people like Johnny Cash, and others. I've even had strange things like Led Zeppelin, or there's other names I can't grasp at. I'm not really a follower of anyone's music, and I'll be honest with you. If you looked at my modest music collection, you'd probably giggle. I had a lot of materials that were local that I used to play on the radio. That was a very different thing for a different reason. But in terms of the people that have influenced me, the two albums I held closest to my heart growing up was first Herbie Mann Live at the Village Gate, which was recorded in the early 60s. It's flute, it's jazz, it's out of this world. It's practically everything you would need in an album. And then the second album I was introduced to by a wonderful fellow from Puerto Rico when I was very young. And that was a girl from Ipanema with St. Getz and Astrid Gilberto. If you want to say I was influenced by music, well, that was it. The players that I've most appreciated were Bob Dylan when I was very young, Donovan, and then Dave Van Ronk, who I actually got to know. And if there's anyone that I'd look upon and say, boy, he's the real McCoy, it was Dave Van Ronk. He struggled all his life as a musician. He went to his grave pretty much obscure, except for people who had a real knowledge of underground music and early folk and blues and jazz and so forth. But he was the real McCoy. He was all over the place in terms of what he did. Very eclectic, very creative, very original. He sounded like no one that I can think of. Maybe a crazy Burl Ives. I don't know. At any rate, the only one I think I sound like is myself. I listen to my music and I go, I don't know. I asked my wife, what do I sound like? And she says, you sound like yourself. But I'm flattered by the comparisons. I don't necessarily see the connection. I try to touch upon as many music types as I can. Very modest. These are all modest attempts. There are so many really terrific musicians on Vandalism and the other sites. People that I look at, I watch them play guitar. And whether they get props or not, I don't care. Whether people comment or not. There are people on that go maybe unnoticed almost, but they're certainly not unappreciated. There's a lot of very creative people that I really look up to. When they post something, I go look at it and listen to it and embrace it completely. If I've been a wonderful generalist, well then, so be it. I've tried to make music that comes from my heart to your heart. And I want to thank you in the new year for being good to me as you've been. All of you. You're just wonderful. I love you all. Thank you very much. This is Pop Angelo, Angelo MARINOSCI JR. And I hope you'll continue to listen while I'm able to still make music. Bye-bye. Happy New Year.